What's up, Raiders? TristenWulf here, and I want to talk to you a little bit about the fusion event that's going on right now. The Lysanthier fusion event is happening, and I think pretty much all of us agree, unless you are a end game player who is wanting to proc some insane numbers on the Hydra, build a very specific team, this is probably a skip for you. I mean, this guy, he looks pretty cool, right? Let's see. Under indexes, he's a high elf. Let's see. Right here he is, Lysanthier Beastbane. He looks really cool. But his skills, chance to place a hex, but it's single target. Attacks the enemy 2 times against single target. Has a chance to repeat the attack, but it's only a 20% chance. You can't increase it. So it's an 80% chance to do nothing. And when you're fighting the Hydra, only when you're fighting the Hydra, there is a chance to increase his damage up to 10% each time an ally is devoured. And why is that only the Hydra? Only the Hydra devours. And 50%, the Hydra doesn't devour a lot, so it's going to take a while to ramp this up. And then, there's an S3 skill. It's got a speed decrease and a weaken, but, it's good and everything, but it just doesn't feel like it's that insane of a kit until you start checking out all of the things and adding them together, and then you start to realize that hey, here is a 25% weaken debuff, so he's going to be hitting things 25% harder, and here he's going to be hitting things 50% harder, and here's this passive where he's going to increase his defense by 5% for each active buff on him, potentially another 50% damage boost, and he's a defense scaler and he boosts his defense. I mean, theoretically there's an insane amount of nuke on this guy for fighting Hydra, but for people who are just starting out, relatively new players like myself, there's not a lot of meat on the bone here for use in places outside of Hydra, and fusion events are brutal. They're brutal and expensive, so most of us are tapping out on it. But there's something else that's happening in this fusion event that I want to make sure you're aware of, that you don't want to skip out on. And something else you don't want to skip out on is starting this game the best way possible. You're brand new to Raid and you want to get a great start. You want to scan that QR code, use the link in the description of this video, so you can start out with the legendary hero Eleneral, and you can start out with the epic hero Rector Draft. You'll pick up Eleneral, who is a fantastic bossing hero, poison and burn dots that will really help you deal with some of the harder fights in the game. You'll get her day 1. And Rector Draft, who you will pick up when you hit rank 15, which should only take you a couple hours of play top. She is she's the strongest bulk healer in the game. For an epic healer, she will keep your team alive. She'll keep them stealth. She can bring them back from the dead. This gives you support, and this gives you boss damage. In addition to that, you can use one of the promo codes that I'll have linked in the description of the video. You can go over to the promo code section. You can enter Get Alice to start with Alice the Wanderer. You can enter Monkey King to get Wukong. You can enter Supreme 6 to get Supreme Gallic. Of those 3, I recommend Supreme Gallic the most. He will give you a good DPS unit that will help with wave combat and a lot of PvE content. That'll give you really good coverage for everything in the game. So make sure you scan that QR code, use that link in the description, get the best start to Raid possible. But enough of that. I want to tell you about the thing that's going on, the thing you don't want to miss out on, the thing you want to be a part of for this fusion event, to make sure you don't miss. Every single one of these fusion things, you're going to be going for the fusion hero, Yuzan the Maroon, right? You can get him through the gear enhancement. You can get him through the champion training. He's going to be all over the place. Try to pick one up. I'm not even kidding you. You may be looking at Lysanthier and thinking he ain't for me, but let me tell you about Yuzan. And under indexes here, he is a skinwalker, and go down to epics right here. He is Yuzan. So Yuzan is a rhinoceros, or what the kid that I was hanging out with at the zoo called him, an armored battle unicorn, which is the most metal thing I've ever heard a rhinoceros described as. So this armored battle unicorn is actually pretty freaking good. So good, I think you want to, even if you don't plan to go for Lysanthier, I think you want to pick up one of these guys. A couple things about him. First of all, he's a void epic, which that in and of itself makes him a little bit more valuable to your account. So right out of the gate, void epic hero that you can pick up for free just by doing any one of these. Pick whichever one, whichever challenge, whichever event is easiest for you to do, bang it out. let me talk to you about a little bit about his skills and explain why I think this guy is a really nice pickup for your account. His A1 skill just attacks one enemy. It's a single hitter, transfers a random debuff from the target to the enemy. So, it's a little bit of a soft cleanse for himself, but also allows him to throw debuffs back. And that can be really nice in such a debuff heavy meta. And it'll heal himself for 10% of his max HP. So that's a strong heal every single time he attacks. And he's an HP based hero, so you're going to want to stack a bunch of HP on him. So it's a very strong heal. You're going to get that every single time he attacks. His A2 skill attacks all enemies. It's an AoE attack, which is pretty nice. It is on a 3-turn cooldown after you book it up. And after you book it up, there's a 100% chance of removing 2 random debuffs from all enemies. So here he has a soft self-cleanse, and here he has a soft strip. Removing 2 buffs from all enemies, that can help out a lot. That can take out some really annoying buffs. And he heals himself by 10% of their max HP for each buff skill he removes. So you strip 2 buffs, you heal yourself for 10% of all of the units he strips HP. The units he strips. So if he strips 4 units and they all have a ton of HP, he's going to get 10% of all of their HP pulled together. It's a massive heal. Massive heal. On a 3-turn cooldown nonetheless, and it's 100% after you book it. Put some effectiveness on it. This skill's pretty much going to full heal him every single time he uses it. It's beautiful, beautiful. His A3 skill, Good Luck Charm, removes 1 random debuff from all allies. So he's got a self-cleanse, he's got an enemy strip, and he's got a team-wide cleanse. I mean, it's a soft cleanse, right? It only removes 1 debuff from your team, but that can sometimes be the difference between you get murdered because of defense break or your control because you're frozen and being able to win the fight. And after he cleanses your entire team, he heals everybody on your team by 20% of his max health. Remember, he's an HP scaler. He's stacking tons of health on this guy, and he uses the skill, and he will cleanse your team and then heal your whole team by 20% of his max health. That is a fat heal. Every single move he's got has got some form of healing on it. It's going to make him a nightmare to fight against in PvP and really good at helping you sustain out some of these longer PvE fights. And also on top of all this, he will place block debuffs on all of your allies. So after he cleanses away the 1 debuff, he will put block debuff on your team so you can't be debuffed back. After he heals everybody up significantly, now you're protected from more debuff. On top of, and by the way, it does say 6-turn. That kind of sucks, but it is 4-turn cooldown after you book it. It's not great, but it is what it is. Now, this stuff does all scale off his HP, and you might be peeking down here at his stats thinking, this is not great base HP. Just remember, he's an epic, not a legendary. He's doing what he can. You can work with this. 20k base, you can work with this. Let's talk about his passive. Whenever this ally heals himself using a skill, take note of that. So life steal sets, things like that, they aren't going to count in the healing himself. But whenever he uses a skill, he will also heal all allies by 20% of the surplus healing. What this means is when you do this and he heals himself by 10%, if he is fully health, that 10% will heal the rest of your team. When he uses this skill and he nukes everybody and he absorbs 8k health and healing, but he's only 4k away, that means the other 4k, that surplus 4k healing, splashes onto the rest of your team and heals them. So suddenly it's not just this skill that heals your team, it's all his skills that heal your team because of this giga cool passive. When I said the 4k extra splash your team, 20% of that 4k, so it's an 800 HP heal. It's not insane, but it takes the edge off. This lets him be a consistent healer for your entire team, wrapped up in a really nice bruiser unit, and he can increase your allies' resistances, which is nice because he can help keep you from being debuffed on top of having all these cleanses and buff block. I think this is a unit that you want. I think this is a unit that's going to help out in a lot of places where you're having just a little bit of trouble surviving and you need somebody to take the edge off. So consider picking up Yuzan the Marooned. It is not hard, guys. It's not hard. There are so many events going on in the Lysanthier Lysanthier event, right? You can Classic Arena Takedown's not live yet. The Fire Night tournament right here is. You can score some stuff in Fire Night, get them that way. You can go into the events and you can just train your champions, summon some champions, pick them up there. You can do the Dungeon Divers or Gear Enhancement, pick them up there. There's lots of ways to get this guy. Get one and hang on to him, even if you plan on totally bagging this entire Fusion event. I think you pick them up, guys. I think it'll be really good for your account. It's just a shame to miss out on such a strong epic hero, a void epic hero nonetheless. So hopefully that's some good advice for you. I'm certainly taking it. Another good chunk of good advice for you is, once again, you're brand spanking new. Use that QR code. Use the link in the description of this video. Get the best start with up to 2 legendary heroes and an epic hero right out of the gate through your promo code and through the download link. You guys take care. Have a great rest of your week. And don't forget to like and subscribe. Take care, Raiders.